Good. We're going to start standing up. And we are going to start off with some big arm circles. All the way up and around. Reach through the fingers. We want to get that arm as straight as possible. Get as much range of motion that you can. Start to wake up the shoulders. Focus on that full range of motion. Reach out through those fingers. One more each side. Then we are going to take them forward. So the opposite direction, it's still those big ranges of motion. Last one. Now give yourself a hug. And then the opposite arm on top. Open up the chest. Make sure your shoulders are down and relaxed. And now we are going to reach overhead. So reach your right arm all the way overhead, nice straight arm. We really want to feel it all the way down the side of the body. And if you can, come up on that same toe. So right arm, right toe. Then the opposite side. One more each side. Then we are going to take that right arm and bring it across the body. So twist, pivot on that toe, move the hips and reach across. And then the opposite side. Take your time, really focus on that nice straight arm and reach through your fingertips. One more each side. Then we are going to go all the way around. So one up and up, then across twist and across twist. So we have up, up, across, across. Keeping that abdomen nice and tight. Two up and two across. Make sure we move that body. One more all the way around. Back to center. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through your mouth and pause right at shoulder height. Small circles in one direction with those arms. Same, opposite direction. And release. Bring the shoulders up and squeeze. Exhale down. Up and squeeze. Exhale down. Really relax the neck every time we come down. And last one. Then bring the shoulders forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Last time forward, last time back. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. And heels to the front. Alternating right and left. Now tap them back. So when we tap them back, we want to make sure that we're standing up nice and tall. Tap and squeeze your butt. So keep that nice straight line from your ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and ear. And tap back and squeeze your butt. And last one, let's stabilize on that left leg, soft natural bend in the left knee, heel and toe on the right. So right heels come forward, right toes come back. Heel forward, toes back. Abdomen is nice and tight. We have that straight line from your left ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and ear. Last one, opposite side. So now we're going to stabilize here on that right foot, pressing through that right heel, a soft natural bend in that right knee. Then bring your left heel forward and toes back. Heel forward, toes back. Abdomen is nice and tight. And release. Step touch. So we're going to step to the left and then step to the right. To the left and to the right. Pay attention to your speed. You can pick it up or slow it down. But when you have that lower body, we are going to add the arms. So bring the arms forward and forward. We want to get the heart rates up a little bit. So the higher your arms go, the higher the heart rate. So if you feel that your heart rate's getting up too high, keep them a little bit lower. Pay attention to how your body is feeling. Now we are going to take it forward. So forward, 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 and forward. Then spin around and back, 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 back. Again, so forward, big step forward, 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 and forward. Spin it around. Same thing, coming back. We are going to do it one last time. Forward, and then spin it around, and come on back. Now from here, we are going to just hinge forward just a little bit, a soft bend in the knee, and kick your butt. So take your time if you need to. Make sure you have your balance. If you need a chair to hold on for that balance, please do so. Otherwise, we are just kicking our butts here. We should feel it right in the quads. Make sure the abdomen is nice and tight. Again, make sure you pay attention to your pace. One more each side. And now that grapevine. So we are going to grapevine over to your left. So take that left leg out. Right foot comes in front. That left leg out. Right leg comes behind and center. Then that right leg comes out. Left leg comes in front, out, and behind. So alternate in front, behind, center, then in front, behind, center. Pay attention to your surroundings. Make sure that there's no rugs that you can trip on. And I've said this before, I'm working out in socks, which is great, but my floor surface is not going to slip. So please make sure that if you're working out in socks, that you're not on your wood floor where you can slip. We want to be on a rug that's stable, stationary. Last time through. And let's head back. That's time. We're gonna come on over to a chair or a wall or something that you can use to stabilize on. So now a little bit of balance. I'm gonna use the back of my chair to hold for balance. So you can hold right on. That right arm's on the chair or wall or couch or whatever you have, something that isn't going to move, isn't going to slide. So we're gonna hold on here, stabilize on that right leg. A soft, natural bend in that right knee. Ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and ear all in a line. Hips are square. Brace your whole midsection. And when you are ready, lift that left knee up. Now, we are pressing through that right heel, but we also want to keep the right toes down. So press those toes down, use that whole foot to balance. Posture is very important here. So shoulders back and down, belly button to spine. When you are ready, you can take that hand away from that chair or wall. And now to challenge your balance a little bit more, close your eyes. Or you can keep your eyes open and look to the right and look to the left. Make sure that you brace your whole entire midsection. Squeeze the core, belly button to spine. And release on down, kick it on out. Calf raises. So either holding on or balance. We are going to come up on the toes and back down. We're going to shoot for 10-ish. So again, if that's too few, do more. If it's too many, do less. Pay attention to how you are feeling. And release. So now we are going to hold on, start holding on. We're going to balance again on that same right foot. And we are going to kick that left leg forward and then side. So forward and side, keeping a nice straight leg. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. Forward and side. Now when we kick it to the side, we want to make sure we're using that side of the leg. That foot stays in the same direction We want to keep the feet parallel, belly button to spine, brace the core. That right side of the body has that nice straight line from the ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and ear. And pay attention to your range of motion. So some of you might have a wider range of motion than me, and some of you might have a less range of motion than me, and that is okay. We want to focus that your form is perfect. So if you're noticing that you're starting to bend and kicking that leg up, trying to get as high as me, I'd rather that perfect form and keep it a little bit shorter of the range of motion. Let's release and kick it on out. Same thing on the opposite side. So here we're gonna start off with your balance. So holding on that left hand, pressing through your left heel, a soft natural bend in the left knee, hip, ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and ear, all in a line. We are going to lift that right knee up and balance. Make sure that left foot is firmly on the ground. Use your toes. Then when you are ready, you can take your hand away from the wall or your chair. To challenge your balance a little bit more, you can close your eyes, or you can look left and right. Make sure the shoulders are down, you are bracing your core. Make sure you are breathing. You can release. I don't know if you can hear my dogs barking. Mailman must be here. Okay, now we're gonna come up on the toes and down for 10-ish. Now, if you did 10 the first time and only can do 8 this time, that's okay. Just pay attention to how your body is feeling. We wanna push your body enough without pushing it too much. So it's kind of a funny spot where we find that happy medium. I think this is 10-ish. Now we are going into that front to side kick. So again, you can hold on to the wall or a chair, and we are bringing that right leg forward and side. Now make sure when you come to the side or when you come forward that you're not leaning back or leaning in any way. We want that nice straight line from your left ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, and ear. And just pay attention to your range of motion. Squeeze that whole entire midsection. Last one front, last one side. You can release and kick it on out. Now I'd like you to find hopefully a chair or couch or something that you can come on down to for your sit to stand. If not, you can just do a regular squat. We are going to start off seated. So if you have a chair, something where your knees are bent at about 90 degrees, you don't want anything too much lower than 90 degrees because then it gets a little bit more difficult. Feet wider than the hips, abdomen is belly button's pulled towards your spine, shoulders are down and back. We want to stand up, pressing through both heels. Make sure we stand all the way up. So we don't want to pause here and pull from the back. We want to make sure that we stand up and squeeze the butt. Chest is up as we come back down. Butt goes back, then back on up, and back on down. Really focus on squeezing the butt and the back of the legs. We want to work the back side of the body. Squeeze at the top. So those legs should be wider than hips. We should do about 10-ish. Again, if it hurts your knees or your form starts to slip, please do less. Now, if you don't have a chair, you can just do the same thing with those air squats, but back come down and back on up. Chest stays up. Try to get as low as you possibly can. Pull the belly button to spine. We want a little bit of that external rotation on the knees. So when we come down, we don't want the knees to come in. We want them to stay in line with the ankles or the laces of our shoe if we were to have some laces. Chest is up. And I don't know how many that was. Let's say that was 10-ish. Now we're going to kick out those legs. We are going to go back into your heel and toes. Back to your heel and toes. We're pressing through that right heel. Soft, natural bend in that right knee. Shoulders down and back. Then take that left leg and come forward and back. Forward and back. Now we're going to make it a little bit harder and come a little bit lower. And opposite side. So now we are going to come on down on that left leg. My husband just got home. He might he can't see you. Other side. Heel and toe, heel and toe. And release, release. Kick it on out. We're going to go back to your sit to stance. Now, we might notice that our legs are a little bit more fatigued. So we really want to focus on the perfect sit to stand or the perfect squat. So again, if we can only get 2 perfect squats, I'd rather 2 perfect squats than 10 and have them sloppy. So listen to your body. Chest is up, butt goes back. Weight is pressed through those heels. Down, make sure the weight is pressed through the heels. We want to keep that tension in the leg and back up, squeeze the booty at the top. Down and up. Again, 10-ish. This is going to be our last time. So if you feel that you want to do more than 10, this is where you can gauge and see how many you feel are appropriate for you. Just make sure that they are perfect. I think that's my 10-ish. Kick it on out. You can catch your breath, grab some water here. We are going to make our way down to the floor. So make your way down to the floor. We are going to stay on the floor. So if you have a water bottle with a top on it, you can bring it over to the floor with you. Today we are going to start on your hands and knees. Start on the hands and knees. I'm taking my watch off because I'm getting about a bazillion different phone calls. Now you can hear it vibrating. So hands and knees, and we are going to start off with a bird dog. This is where my cat bit me yesterday. So he's over on the table staring at me. Wrist is in line with shoulder. We want to make sure that the wrist is in line with your shoulder. We don't want the arms too far out wide or too close together. So we want hands shoulder width apart, wrist is in line with shoulders. Again, same with the knees. We don't want the knees in together or too far apart. We want the knee in line with hips. Tuck your toes. Hips and shoulders are square. Back is nice and flat. Oh, here he comes. Now he's going to come and bite me. Right arm is forward. Left leg is back. Now, right arm forward. That palm is face in. Abdomen is nice and tight. Then we are going to hold here for 30 seconds. Let's begin. So, right arm, those fingertips are nice and straight, pressing out through the heel of that left foot. I don't know, he doesn't like the bird dog, apparently. 10 seconds. He's being nice now. 3, 2, 1, and release. You can push on back into child's pose here. Take a second. We are going to come back on up. Same thing on the opposite side. So make sure we have that form first. Wrist is in line with shoulder. Abdomen is tight. This time, left arm is forward, right leg is back, and we will hold for 30 seconds. Let's begin. So left arm is forward, right leg is back. Flex that right foot. Try to keep as straight of a line as possible. Make sure you keep breathing. Five seconds. And release. You can push back into child's pose. Relax here. We're going to go through one more time. This time through, we are going to either stay with the static hold or go right into that dynamic bird dog. So we're going to start again back on that right arm. Right arm forward, left leg back, and start off with the hold. Then we can bring that either hold here or dynamic. We are bringing the elbow and knee in and then extending long. When we extend, we want to reach through the fingertips and press through the heels. Last one. Good. You can release. Push back into child's pose. Take a second because we have the same thing on the opposite side. So now back to that left side. Form first, then we can move. So left arm forward, right leg back, and let's hold. So wrist is in line with shoulder, flex that foot, then bring the dynamic elbow and knee into center, and extend long. Really focus on the range of motion. It doesn't matter how many repetitions we get here. We really want to focus on that full range of motion. So all the way in to all the way long. And you can release. Push back into child's pose, butt back over heels. Now we're going to come on down on your stomach for your Superman. But we're going to start with just the lower part of your body. I think you can see me. Let me move over. So head is going to stay down, and we are just going to alternate lifting the legs, trying to get the quads up off the floor, squeeze the butt cheek, and try to really engage your hamstring. 30 seconds, let's begin. So alternate here. Hold the belly button back up towards your spine. We want to focus on bracing that whole midsection. Take your time. Really focus on the squeeze. And you can release. Again, push back into child's pose. Take a second here. We are going to go back on through one more time. This time you can stay with that lower body or change it to that upper body on the elbows, or we can add the upper body. So alternating arm and alternating leg, come up and squeeze. If we are bringing the upper body and lower body together, we want to make sure that the shoulders and the hips remain square. So let's begin. So my right arm comes up with my left leg and down, then the opposite side and down. Squeeze at the top. We want to feel this down the whole back side of the body. Last one. And release. You can push back into child's pose. Relax here. And back to that tabletop position. So wrists in line with shoulders, knees in line with hips. Nice solid stance. If I was to come over and push you over, you're not going anywhere. You're nice and solid in this stance. Then we are going to take that left leg and we are going to bring it out to the side. So you're hydrant and down. Out to the side and down. We're looking for 10-ish here. We want to keep the belly button to spine, squeeze the midsection. Make sure that you are balanced firmly between your two hands and the stationary leg. I think that was 10-ish for me. When you finish 10-ish, you can come back and relax in that child's pose. And then the same thing on the opposite side. Wrist is in line with shoulder. Drive the elbow, drive the shoulder blades down towards your back pocket as you squeeze your lats. And then 10 on the opposite side. When you finish your 10, you can release, push back into child's pose. Plank. We're going to push it a little bit today. We've been doing 30-second planks. We're going to shoot for 45 seconds. So I will try to tell you every 15 seconds. If I remember, I get talking. So low plank, forearms are parallel. Abdomen is nice and tight. I will tell you every 15 seconds-ish. Up and hold, please. So elbows in line with shoulders. Make sure the booty's not up. We want to tuck the tail, drive the elbows to the toes, and hold. Make sure we elongate the neck, relax the shoulders down. That's 15 seconds. Breathe. Stay nice and strong. Hold the belly button up towards your spine. That's 30. And 45, you can release. Push back into child's pose. Take a second in your child's pose. And when you are ready, we are going to slowly come on over to your back. Take your time. I'm just going to come over here and adjust this because I don't have my watch on anymore. So on your back, knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, a strong pelvic tilt. We want to press that low back down to the floor and tilt that pubic bone up towards your, let's go this way, up towards your heart and squeeze that midsection. Arms long by your side, relax your head, neck, and shoulders, pressing through both heels evenly. We are going to lift your hips up into a bridge. At the top of the bridge, we are going to pause and then slowly lower back on down. We are only going to do 5 bridges. Up and squeeze and back on down. When you finish the 5th bridge, You're going to stay up and squeeze at the top. Take your time. I'm only on 3, so I hope you're not too far ahead of me. So this is my number 5. I'm going to come up and squeeze and pause. And from here, you can either hold here or challenge yourself by alternating marching the knees. So bring the left knee in and down, then the right knee in and down. It's important that we keep the hips up nice and high. We don't want to let the hips sag, and we want to make sure that we control the knees. So I don't want to hear your feet on the floor. Nice, quiet feet. One more each side. And you can slowly lower on down. Pull both knees into your chest and just rock side to side. Relax here for a second. And we are going to go right into your dying bug. So from here, the arms are going to be long, wrist, elbow, shoulder, all in a line. Flex the feet, the knees, and the hips should be in line. Pelvic tilt, press the low back down to the mat. We are going to keep the arms stationary and just start with your legs. So drop the left knee, heel down and up, then the right leg down and up. We are going to do 10 per side-ish. Make sure you hold that strong pelvic tilt so you do not feel this in your low back. Take your time. I'm only on number 4 and 4. One more each side for me. And when you are finished, pull both knees in towards your chest, hug them in, rock side to side. We are going to go through those 2 exercises one more time. So drop the feet down to the floor, back to your bridges. So 5 bridges, and then a static hold at the top. At the top, you can either march the knees for 8 per side, or just hold, whatever is appropriate for you. So 5 bridges, pelvic tilt first, then lift up, squeeze at the top, then slowly lower back on down. Make sure you recommit to that nice strong pelvic tilt. We don't want to arch our back. This is my 5th. Let's hold this one up nice and high. Squeeze the booty and then march the knees, or just hold. Take your time. Focus on pressing through that stationary leg. Make sure the hips don't drop. Keep them up nice and high. Eight per side, that's 8 and 8. You can release on down. Now we're gonna go back into that dying bug. So again, a strong pelvic tilt. Pubic bone comes up towards your heart. Arms up, legs up. If you felt that this 10 and 10 with just the legs was hard for you the first time, stay with just the legs. If you felt like you wanted to challenge yourself a little bit more, then you can add the arms this time. So 10 per side. So I'm going to drop my right leg down and my left arm down. Back up to center, and the opposite side. 10 per side. Oops, it's knocking my microphone off. Keep that core tight, belly button to spine. We don't want to feel this in the low back. We want to focus on that pelvic tilt. I lost count, but I think this is about 9 and 9. I'm going to say one more each side for me. And then when you are finished, you can pull both knees into your chest, hug them in, rock side to side. You can return both feet down to the floor. Ow, now he's biting my foot. Pressing through both heels evenly. Pelvic tilt. Extend your right leg long. Flex that right foot. Keeping the hips down. We don't want to put any pressure in that left foot. So pelvic tilt. We are going to lift that right leg up, keeping the booty down. Squeezing the abdomen. When we keep the booty down, press the low back down, our leg's not going to come up as high. Then we're going to point our toes and come back down. I'd like to do 10, flex on the way up, leg lifts, and point on the way down. 10 per side. Make sure you focus on keeping that core nice and tight. Don't forget to really accentuate that point and flex. 10 per side. Then we're going to switch to the other side. When you finish, hips are square, shoulders are square, abdomen is nice and tight. Flex and point. This is my 10th on the left side. When you finish 10 on both sides, pull both knees into your chest and just rock side to side. Place your fingertips on top of your knees and make a circle with your knees in one direction. And then circle those knees in the opposite direction. Return your feet down to the floor. Arms out at shoulder height. Drop your knees over to the right and take your head and look to the left. Now from here, your bottom ankle, so it should be your right ankle, bring it on top of that left knee. And release, uncross. Drop the knees over to the left. Arms still out at shoulder height, head to the right. And from here, take that bottom ankle, so it should be your left ankle, place it on top of right knee. And release, uncross, back to center. Now here we're going to drop the left knee open to the left, right knee to the right. The bottoms of the feet come together. Try to open up the hips. Take a few deep breaths here and try to let your body relax into this position. And release, bring both knees back up to center. Extend both legs long, both arms long overhead, full body stretch. So press out through the heels, reach through the fingertips, get as long and tall as you can go. Then pull your right knee in towards your chest. Hug your right knee in. From here, we are going to lift that left foot up off the floor just a couple of inches. Pull the right knee in and press out through that left heel. And let your left foot hit the floor and make a circle with your right foot in one direction. Same foot, opposite direction. And release. Extend that right leg long. Then pull that left knee in towards your chest. Hug your left knee in and lift that right foot off the floor just a couple of inches. Pull the left knee in as you press out through the right. Return that right foot down to the floor and make a circle with your left foot in one direction. Same foot, opposite direction. And release, extend that left leg long. Push yourselves up to a seated position. Sit on your butt. You can brace your hands behind your back if you like. Then I'd like you to walk a little bit more forward. A little bit more forward. And then if you can, take your hands forward and try to reach towards your toes. Remember, it doesn't matter how far you can reach. We want to keep the knees down. If here's as far as you can reach with those knees down, then that's fine, but that's something we want to work on. Now V your legs. Back up so you can see me. V the legs out and try to walk your hands as far forward. Again, if here is as far as you can go, that's okay. We want to keep the knees down. If not, we want to try to walk our hands forward. Like I said before, bonus points to anybody who can get your chest down to the floor, but this is as far as I go. Walk your hands to the left. And walk your hands to the right. And back to center. And take your time. We're going to lay back down on your back. So come back down on your back. Extend both legs long. Both arms are long overhead. Reach in opposite directions. And roll on over to your left side. On the left, we are going to be in that nice straight line. Then we are going to reach for your right ankle and pull that right heel back towards your butt. Pull the knee back. So we don't want the knee in front of the opposite knee. We want to pull it back just a little bit and make sure it's down. We don't want the knee up too high. We really want to feel this stretch in the quadricep. And release. Same thing on the opposite side. So we are going to roll on over to your right side. Then when you are ready and in that nice straight line, you can reach for that top heel, should be the left if you're on the right, and pull that knee, heel towards your butt, push the hips forward, pull the knee back slightly. And release, roll forward, child's pose. So butt back over heels, walk those hands far forward. And walk your hands over to the left. Walk your hands over to the right. Back to center. Tabletop position, hands and knees. Cat-cow, arch, and sway the back. We want to keep the arms long and we're just flexing the back. We want to get as much flexion that we can in the spine. Take your time, but let's make our way all the way up to standing. Take your time, come up to your feet. When you are standing, you can start rolling the shoulders back. Bring your arms out at shoulder height. Turn your hands so the palms are up towards the ceiling. Look up slightly and push the thumbs back to open up the chest. Then that left arm is going to stay nice and straight. So the left arm is out to the side, straight arm. Bring that straight arm across the body. Then underneath, we're going to reach with the right and pull that straight left arm in. Release, other side. Right arm is straight. Bring that right arm across the body and then reach underneath with the left and pull that straight right arm in. And release. Roll the shoulders back again. Now relax the shoulders down. Take your head, look to the right and to the left. Back to the right. Back to the left. Back to center, look up and down. Back to center, right ear to right shoulder. Drop your chin down to your chest, left ear, left shoulder. Again, right ear, right shoulder. And drop that chin forward, left ear, left shoulder. And back to center. Roll the shoulders back. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. 2 more. Last one. Good job today, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy rainy Thursday. Let me come on down and